Hi, I am Stephanie Dreyer, founder of stephaniedreyer.com, where I help busy families bring more ease to their meal prep and meal plans. I am a plant-based meal planning expert and the mom of 3 kiddos. We are a mixed bunch of omnivores. My oldest is a vegetarian. I'm vegan, and then my middle and youngest son and husband are omnivores. So I have a fun bunch of mouths to feed with different needs and tastes. And so I know the struggle is definitely real and is a challenge to get something on the table every night that everyone's going to enjoy and love. And my goal is to bring more joy back to meal planning. I love to cook, and I had been, over the last 10 years, my oldest is 15. So just, over probably, I would say we were doing pretty good until she was about 5, and I had my second one, and then the third one came along. And just trying to get dinner on the table, let alone breakfast and lunches for school packed. And it was just becoming a chore, and all the fun was going away. And so my goal is to share some of the tricks and strategies that I've learned over the years that have really created a system for me around meal planning and prep that makes it easy for me to feed my family every day. All of our meals, we pretty much eat homemade. I cook every breakfast, lunch, and 5 to 6 dinners a week. So I've been there, and I'm hoping I can share some tips with you. Today, I am talking about some of my favorite dinner hacks using Trader Joe's prepared sauces and products, refrigerated, frozen, all whatever. We're going to talk about a few things. And this is the second part of my kind of Trader Joe's hack series, I'm calling it. I don't even know what I'm calling it. But Trader Joe's is the main store that I shop at, and the strategies that I'm sharing with you don't have to be used at Trader Joe's. There's prepared foods at every store, obviously. And I want to kind of debunk some of those and show you how you can get a little help from the store, and that's totally okay. That's great to get a homemade meal on the table. It's still better than doing takeout, in my opinion. And there's a time and a place for takeout, by the way. I'm not a hater on takeout. It's just I really strive in my house to try to I have more control over the fat. I have more control over the salt. And being a family that's plant-based, whereas I mentioned not all of us are plant-based, but I do all the cooking and shopping, so our meals are plant-based. I have more control over making sure those ingredients and meals are plant-based friendly, I should say. So I want to talk about this idea of homemade-ish. A lot of us, okay, I'll use myself as an example. I grew up in a house where food was love, and my mom showed her love by cooking. And so I grew up, whether it was subconsciously or consciously, where food really was a source of love and pride. And sitting around the dinner table and eating together was important, and it was a way for us to connect. My mom was a single mom. My parents were divorced, so she worked a full-time job. My grandmother picked us up from school. I have a twin sister. And really, especially as the kids get older and you're shuttling to activities, and dinner is the time where you actually can sit and connect before everyone, has homework and all that stuff to do at the end of the day. So that is a meal that I cherish as my kids get older. I really see the value in having that time together, and I cherish it and I hold on to it. So dinner is a big deal for me and our family. And it's not always perfect. It definitely is not always perfect. It's not, gourmet meals every night, but it's a home cooked meal where we sit down together and we have some time together. But making a homemade meal can be overwhelming, and especially when you are working at least one job, you're shuttling kids, you're juggling different activities and responsibilities outside of just being a parent and an employee. There's so many other things that are calling our attention. So I love the store and will take help from it when I can. And Trader Joe's, for me, has been is my main store, because it does have what I call meal helpers, and they let you turn a meal into something homemade-ish, is what I call it. So my last Facebook Live last week, I shared salad kit meal helpers, and I have a link to my salad kit meal helper free download if you want to grab that. And I shared some of Trader Joe's salads and how to turn them into meals, not just salads, but into pizzas and wraps and pastas and all these other fun things that you might not typically think of with salad kits. Beyond that, today I want to talk about some of my other favorite dinner hacks from Trader Joe's. And like I said in last week, these are products specific to Trader Joe's, but they're available at other stores too. So the principles and the ideas I'm sharing with you, take with you and apply them to whatever products you can find in your own store. Again, it doesn't have to be Trader Joe's. So I'm going to talk about things like sauces, frozen foods, refrigerated foods I mentioned at the top. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. And I'm going to share all of these over on my website next week. You can check out my blog to get the exact recipes. But I want to just hopefully share some ideas that get you thinking and creative and out of your usual mealtime rut, and can show you that, you know, you can have a little fun in the kitchen with these prepared foods. So the first thing, and these are all kid tested, family proof, my kids love them. The first one is chili potato bowls. They love these. And one of the things that I talk about a lot I've talked about before, are food bars. And food bars are a fun and easy way to get dinner on the table. It's a fun way to get the family interactive and talking by setting out your buffet of toppings and fillings and then letting everyone customize their bowl. This was one of those ideas, and it's a chili potato bowl, and you can either use a potato or you could use tater tots as your base. And then again, those are tater tots you can buy, anywhere. Regular potatoes as well. You could use sweet potatoes as well if you want to up the nutrition value. And then the dinner hack that I'm going to use in this particular recipe is chili, vegetarian canned chili from Trader Joe's. You can buy that also anywhere. Hi, Sunny. And so this is one of my favorite meals where I say you got your base, you put your chili, your potato, and then you go crazy with the toppings on the table and let your family just go to town and make it the way they want. Super quick, easy meal. You can add up the plant foods. You can add broccoli. You can add, I like spinach. I like fresh greens on top of my potato. There's so many different ways you can do this. You can do salsas. You can do chopped tomato. I mean, just olives, whatever your kids love. This is dinner in like 15 minutes, depending if you've pre-prepped your potatoes, and you can make this really, really quick. So that's my favorite first one that I'm sharing with you. And I've kind of categorized these into different cuisines. So the next one I'm going to talk about is Mediterranean. I've also got Italian, I've got Asian, I've got Indian. Yeah, so gosh, I got a few in here. So let's move on to Mediterranean. If you have any questions as I'm going through, give me a holler. Falafel pitas. This is one of my favorite. I love Mediterranean food. I could eat it probably every day, much to my family's chagrin, because I think they get sick of it, because it's such an easy plant-based cuisine, right? Like there's just so much opportunity there. Well, frozen falafel is my one meal helper there that I'm using. Pita, and then Trader Joe's has an organic Mediterranean style salad kit, and if you omit the cheese, it's completely vegan. The dressing is vegan. And then hummus, a store-bought hummus. So of course you could make your hummus, you could make your own salad, you could make your own falafel. Trader Joe's even has a falafel box, I don't know what you call it, a falafel mix. And so you could even use that. This is super quick. You could get dinner on the table literally in probably 15 minutes by putting together the salad kit, heating, making those falafels, and then serving. Again, this is another one you can do DIY bar style, setting everything out in the middle of the table, chopping up the falafels, the salad kit, the hummus. You could have different kinds of hummuses. And then you can also add other types of fillings for the pitas, like pickles, sliced olives, calamatas, they have those at Trader Joe's. You could get the grape leaves from Trader Joe's and chop those up. So there's artichoke hearts. There's a lot of different things that you could do. They have cornichons as well. You could chop those up. So pitas, again, 15-minute, easy dinner, homemade, healthy. Trader Joe's also has a homemade prepared tabbouleh and chickpea salad called balela. You could also use that as a filling too, or just chickpeas too. If your kids aren't big falafel, you could just try chickpeas, or any kind of you could just use the hummus instead of the falafel. Half of my family's kind of divided there. Half of us love falafel and half of us don't, so you can give the other things as options for filling. So okay, so we're gonna move on to Italian. That was my Mediterranean. I've got 4 Italian ideas here, because that's my family's favorite, I would say, as Italian. So calzones. This is Italian sausage calzones. Trader Joe's has an Italian sausage. It's vegan. Their pizza sauce, their pizza dough, and a dairy-free cheese. They've got all this in the prepared food section. And you can easily make these in just about 20 minutes by dividing the dough into 4 balls and rolling them out and spreading them with sauce, cheese, the sausage. Again, you can also customize any of this with olives, with green peppers, with veggies, mushrooms, whatever your family likes. You can do it as a DIY food bar. Again, I guess a theme with today's Facebook Live. And you fold them in half. Like, if you don't know what a calzone is, you take the circle, you put the sauce on, layer everything on one side of the dough circle, then you fold it in half. And so it looks like almost like a pita pocket, I guess. And you bake it for about 10-ish minutes, maybe a little longer, depending on how your oven operates. And there you go. Serve it with some more pizza sauce on the side. You've got dinner, a really yummy dinner. You can serve it with a side salad. But again, super easy dinner to hack, something that the kids love. I mean, most kids love pizza. This is just taking it in a little different direction. And while we're on the topic of pizza, my other dinner hack related to this is called pizza rolls. And I've got this recipe actually up on my website, stephaniedreyer.com. And it's really popular. I take the pizza dough, I roll it out, I layer it with pizza sauce, dairy-free cheese, and olives. That's what my kids love, the sliced black olives. And I've also done it with pesto. Trader Joe's has a really yummy vegan pesto, so I've also done it with that. And I love my go-to cheese, actually, dairy-free cheese, is not at Trader Joe's. It's you could get it probably at other places besides Whole Food, but it's Follow Your Heart's cheese. Hi, Gail, you just joined. We are talking Italian dinner food hacks right now, and I'm sharing my pizza rolls recipe. So my favorite dairy-free cheese, like I said, is from Follow Your Heart for pizza. It has like the Parmesan shreds, and I just discovered Violife's mozzarella shreds, which are pretty darn good as well. So anyways, that's what I use. I don't actually use Trader Joe's. Their dairy-free cheese is fine, but it's not my favorite. So what I do is I layer all that on, I roll it into a big log, I seal the log, and then I slice it with a serrated knife and put it on and cook them. Like, they come out like little round rolls, and I cook them for about 8 to 10 minutes, and dinner is served. And they're just little pizza rolls, and the kids love them. Serve it with a side salad again, or veggies and a dipping sauce. They love that. So that's my second dinner hack with pizza dough. And then I have 2 pasta dinner hacks for you. That pasta is always easy to make and super simple as well. And this just kind of takes up the ease factor. Spaghetti and meatballs. Trader Joe's has in the frozen section, meatless meatballs, and they also have a delicious Toscano. It's called marinara Toscano sauce. It's in the canned area, and it's my favorite store-bought sauce. Again, you can make your sauce, you can make your meatballs, but if you need a quick dinner hack to get dinner on the table in about 15 minutes while you're boiling your pasta, you bake the meatballs, or actually you don't even have to make these meatballs. Put them in a pot with the sauce. You cook them up in about 10 minutes or so, and dinner is served. It's that easy. So if you haven't tried those, check those out. And then my other pasta suggestion is Italian pasta primavera, and it uses any pasta of your choice. Linguine is what I like to do this one with. And I use the refrigerated bruschetta from the Trader Joe's, and a lot of stores carry like a store-bought or a store-made bruschetta. They also sell it. Some of them sell it in the jarred area. Trader Joe's also has a jarred one. I use the one that's refrigerated. A can of artichoke hearts, either in water or in oil, drained and chopped or sliced, and then olives of your choice. And what I do is I cook the pasta, drain it, and I just toss all of that together. It's kind of a Mediterranean-esque kind of slant to it. You could add sauteed greens into that, like spinach would be good, whatever. If you can get a leafy green in there with your kids, that's great. That's probably the only way my kids will eat leafy greens, is if I toss them into some kind of pasta. Chard and kale would work really well in there. And you can, of course, add any other vegetables you want, but that's my easy one that I know my kids will like. Okay, so that's Italian. We covered Italian, we covered Mediterranean, talked about the chili potato bowls. Now I wanted to share a couple of Indian and a couple of Asian ideas. The Indian tofu curry. So this is my veg daughter, Gabby. This is her favorite dinner, and it's so easy to make because it takes a lot of help from the store. I use the jarred yellow curry sauce from Trader Joe's, a block of firm tofu, a bag of their cauliflower florets, a bag of their broccoli florets, and their frozen jasmine rice. Again, you can make your homemade rice, you can make your own curry sauce, but why when you can use these dinner hacks to get dinner on the table in less than 30 minutes, probably about 20 minutes. It's really easy. I chop garlic, saute it in about a tablespoon of olive oil. I pour in the florets, the broccoli and the cauliflower, and I cook it for a few minutes until it gets like steamed and a little, probably about 10-ish minutes, until it's that bright, the broccoli is bright green and delicious. I like my veggies crunchy. And then I separately I cook the tofu, because it can get a little bit it can get like fall apart a little bit. And actually the super firm tofu is a great one for this one, because you don't even have to worry as much about it falling apart. And I just brown that a little bit so it gets a little bit brown on the sides, and then I combine the broccoli with and cauliflower with the tofu, stir in the sauce, let it cook until it's heated through, and then serve it over the rice. So simple. Trader Joe's has some fun frozen, I think they're not samosas. I don't think they call them samosas, but it's kind of like an Indian pastry that they have that is vegan that you can use. They also have some vegetarian ones, so you can have that on the side. That is one of my daughter's favorite dinners, and it's so easy. And it's a great way to get her to eat vegetables, because she would just like to have the tofu with the curry sauce and the rice, but I add a little bit of veggies in there. For Asian, I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 more meal ideas for you, and then that will wrap my dinner hack Facebook Live with you today. And I'll take a few questions if you have any. So Asian vegetable sushi bowls, I think I have this recipe up on my website. Super easy. This is a super easy dinner hack. Again, using the rice from the freezer section. Trader Joe's has pre-baked, ready-to-go teriyaki flavored tofu. Thank you, Trader Joe's. They also have ready-to-go, cooked in the refrigerated section, edamame. And then I use shredded carrots, chopped avocado, Persian cucumber. They have the green cabbage. And I put, again, another DIY food bar situation where I lay this all out and let everyone make their own food bar with, or food bowl, their sushi bowl. And I just serve it with a little bit of soy sauce, little shoyu, and I have sesame seeds all put out there, chop up some nori. Super simple. That dinner takes me 15 minutes total to chop up and put everything together. Super easy. Okay, tofu and vegetable stir fry. My family actually loves stir fries, and I think it's because it gets served with rice or noodles, which is always a hit. I use a bag of the coleslaw mix from Trader Joe's, a bag of their broccoli florets, one of those baked tofu teriyaki tofus I just mentioned, and their soy yaki. And I use garlic. I saute it in a little bit of oil, add the vegetables. I cook the vegetables until they're my desired tenderness. I like them crunchy. Not everybody likes them like that. I drizzle in a little soyaki and the chopped tofu just till it gets heated through, because you don't need to cook the baked tofu. And you serve it with your rice. And that's it. Super simple. Again, really, really easy homemade meal on the table in about 20 minutes. And then I have 2 other recipes that are up on my website that are really easy. One is, I don't know if your family is into ramen, but Trader Joe's blah, 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 I can't talk, sells this vegan miso ramen. It's like a cup of noodles. And it's completely vegan, and I add edamame, bok choy, green onions. What else do I add to it? I think that's all I add. Edamame, bok choy. I might be missing something. Anyway, I'll link it in the blog post that related to this, so you can see. So that is and my daughter loves it with like just the soup by itself, but this adds more protein to it because I'm adding edamame, and it adds vegetable. Oh, I might add broccoli too. I can't remember. I add vegetables in it. Of course, I'm always trying to up the vegetable factor with my kids. And that is ready in like 10. The soup is ready, I think, in 3 minutes, because you just add hot water. And I add the vegetables right at the end. So that is actually less than 10 minutes to make. And it's a really yummy lunch too. And then the last recipe I want to share with you is tofu vegetable fried rice. That recipe is up on my site, and I joke that it's like even a recipe, because this is totally using the help from Trader Joe's. It's a major dinner hack. I do a little marinade with the tofu with orange juice. You could also just use the soyaki, and I cook the tofu, and then I add in a bag of Trader Joe's vegetable fried rice, which is totally vegan. They have a couple different ones, so make sure you find the one that's vegan. Again, it's on my website. And that is a super delicious, easy meal in its own. Like literally that's it. The tofu, you season the tofu and you stir in the fried rice, and you've got tofu fried rice. It's a great, great meal. My kids love rice. They love fried rice. So that is always a win. So that is what I have for you. I think I had about, 10 or 12 different hacks there. And I hope that I showed you how easy it is to put dinner on the table, and it's still homemade. You don't have to order takeout. If you're running late, then and the amount of time it would take you to order takeout and figure out what you're going to make, you could have a really easy and delicious meal on the table. And what I like to do is build these types of meals into my meal plan 1 to 2 times a week. And the way I do that is I look at my schedule, and I look at those days where I know I'm going to be running in the door, or those days where it's been a long day. If my schedule is got meeting after meeting, activity after activity, and I know I'm just going to want to do something easy where I don't have to spend a lot of time in the kitchen, I will build one of these types of meals into the plan. And that's to help myself. Again, your meal plan is supposed to help you. It's supposed to work for you. So do yourself a favor and build some of these in to your plan, and keep your eyes open in the store for things that can help you. Like, I'm not promoting that you have to use packaged processed foods. You saw a lot of this wasn't necessarily packaged and processed. We talked about the meatballs. Those are packaged and processed. But there's other foods like that. Trader Joe's has chickenless nuggets. They've got Mandarin chickenless chicken. So, you work those in every once in a while. But some of these other things that I was talking about, like, what did we talk about? I can't even remember. Like the miso soup bowls, or the different types of pizza, calzone, and pizza rolls, things like that. There's no shame in any of this, actually, in building those into your meal plans. And if it helps you get a homemade dinner on the table, and you're happy and you're calm and you're relaxed, then I say, why not? So that is my philosophy on dinner hacks. I'm all for them. I hope these recipes were helpful. I hope it helped you think a little differently outside of your dinner plan box, and we'll try something new. I would love to hear what you think. If you have any other ones that you want to share, I would love to hear what those are. And I'd love to just hear if this is helpful. I'm going to be back next week talking about Trader Joe's spreads and dips, and how I turn those into meals. Obviously, sandwiches is a lot of those. And that's the rounding out my kind of hack series, is just ways you turn things in your store, like just, you know, the obvious, into something else. Like I said, we talked about salad kits last week and how those are so much more than a salad kit. I'm going to talk about dips and how you can turn those into different meals as well. So tune in next week for that. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you shared it with somebody that you think would benefit from the information. And if we are not connected, I would love to meet you. Either come visit me at my website, stephaniedryer.com, connect with me on Instagram at Veegmama, Veegmama. I've got a bi-weekly newsletter that you can sign up to join on my website, where I share more tips and tricks and goodies and stuff like that. So I hope we can continue to stay connected. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.